Today I decided to do something a little different. I always choose, thank you, Tony. I always choose the looks, but I wanted you guys to choose today. And when I say you guys choose, I'm going to bring a palette out. You guys are going to let me know what color blush and what color blush and what color lipstick and eyeshadows we're going to do today, and we're going to create a look together. So before we get started, if you guys could share with your followers and your friends, how you do that is you tap the screen at the bottom right and click that guy there and share with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, and here. So please do that. Also, if you guys could tap the screen, and what that does is it gives me hearts, and hearts help me become a featured artist here on Periscope. So that's what we are trying to do here. And so I thank you so much already for your support. So today we are going to do a look where you guys get to choose. So before we even choose eyeshadow, I'm going to ask you guys to put a 1 if you want a natural look, and 2 if you want to do a smoky eye. So once we start seeing more 1s or 2s going up, then we'll get started and choose the color. So 1 if you want a natural eye, 2 if you want a smoky eye. We have a couple ones. Ooh, mostly 1 so far. All right, 1 it is. We got mostly 1s. My big palette is from Coastal Scents. It's called the 252 palette. Okay, so we're gonna do a neutral look, and I'm just digging for my eyeshadow. You are welcome. I'm gonna work out of 2 palettes today. This one is gonna be from Coastal Scents, the 26 Shadow Blush palette. And my other one is by Lime Crime. It's called Venus. Oh, my mirror broke. Okay, it's called Venus, and it has these colors, but this right here is called Icon, and this is my favorite transition color. So let's start with priming our eyelid. So we're gonna stick to 3 colors that you guys are choosing. Once I find my primer. So when you're putting on your eyeshadow, we always use a base first. We're going to use a nude base. This is by NYX. And a light layer. Thank you, sissy. Yes, please send the hearts up. So what I've said before is you just want to make sure you do a nice light layer. You don't need a ton of base or eyeshadow primer on your lid when you're doing your looks. And you need to make sure that it's evenly distributed. And I'm using a flat, stiff brush to apply the eyeshadow primer. All right. So, let us see. So my transition color is always brown, and the reason why you do a brown when you're doing a neutral, or you do like a tannish tone depending on your skin tone, is because you want it to look natural, and the transition color just helps transition right from the color to, you know, when you do a when you go to your eyebrows. So you always need a transition color, and that's gonna be Icon in my Lime Crime palette. And back and forth motion. And you can always darken it up. I'm using my MAC 224 blending brush. And when you're applying, you just do a little bit. Good morning, bro. You just do a little bit at a time. And keep adding product you want to see more and more. Okay, so let's choose. Hey, what up, bestie? Okay, so we did our transition color, so let's talk out of our 26 eyeshadow palette. We're going to choose between two colors. Let's see here. Okie dokie. So, okay, so if you guys want to see this color up here, you select one. And if you want, what's the other one? This one right here, this one, select two. This is one, this is two. 1, 2, 1, 2. So as I see it going up, then we will start. We got mostly, oh, we're getting twos. All right, 2 wins. Why did I just forget the color, guys? Okay, all right, where is it? Right there. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm using a, I'm using a flat, fluffy brush. And I'm using the number 2 color that you guys chose. And instead of windshield wiper motion, we are patting it on for the most amount of pigmentation. And I'm bringing it right up to my brow bone. So just underneath my brow bone actually, and it's like you're going right into your crease. And on both sides. Okay, so right now what I'm doing is just making sure I have the right pigmentation that I want to see. Oh, good morning, babe. Thought you were sleeping in on this one. So we've applied our color, and I'm just going to use a smaller blending brush, and I'm going to go back into my Icon transition color and just darken it up a little bit more. So what's this doing is I want to kind of show a difference between obviously the two colors, but also I kind of want to, I don't want to say contour, but I want to sculpt out my eye a little bit more. That's why you normally put a transition color or darker color on top. And the placement of where depends on your eye shape. So since I have a large eye area, I can really define my brow bone more. If you tend to have a smaller eye area, you may not want to put as much of a transition color. What happened? I missed it. All right. So now that we have done that, we're doing So now that we've done that, we need to just bring our transition color a little bit more into here. So when you do this by yourself, girls should choose what color. Oh, for transitioning, you should use, if you have a darker skin tone or if you're brown, a darker brown color. So that's why this is one of my favorites. If you want more of a dramatic look, then you can use like a gray color. Or you could do your dark tone here, your dark brown, and add a little bit of the gray in here. So I'll show you what I mean. I just have to find a gray that I like. Okay, so, or you could use black. So if I wanted to darken up the crease even more, I could use a grayish tone color, which is right here. And this is out of the 252 palette. Just a little bit, just a smidge of the color. And right in here. And you're going to use a smaller blending brush. And you can bring it down more. So at any time, if you feel like, as you're trying to learn which is your favorite transition color, if at any time you feel like, okay, this isn't as dark as I want it to be, you can always darken it up with a different color. Or by giving it more pigmentation and adding more product to it, so more of that color in the same area. Okay, so now I am going to take that transition color, because we're going to work with two colors today. I'm going to take that transition color, the icon in this palette, and I'm just going to bring it in a little bit further. For an eyeshadow, what brushes, when it comes to eyeshadows, I normally use a, for a beginner, okay, so when I do eyeshadows, I normally like to use with normally like to use a flat, fluffy brush, or a, or my blending brushes, and I usually use those in different sizes depending on what area I'm working with. So if I want to have, if I'm using a larger area, or I'm going to put eyeshadow in a larger area, I use a fluffy flat brush and a large one. Smaller area, like if maybe in the corners of my eye, I'll use a smaller one. Blending, same thing. Blending brush, small. Normally I start with the big one and then I do detailing with the smaller blending brush. And then if I'm using pigments, you know, the loose powders, I'll use a stiff flat brush, which is something like this. Those are the three that I use. If you're a beginner and you don't have all those brushes, then a blending brush is necessary, and a fluffy, a medium size or small fluffy flat brush. Those are the two that you should definitely get. Okay, so the eyeshadow palette is on, you're welcome. The eyeshadow palettes that I use most of the time are from Coastal Scents, and depending on which one you want, they range between like 15 to, I think the most I spent was like $18, because I usually get them on sale, and they're from Coastal Scents, and a lot of times you can get a deal from Retail Me Not. Like you can get a coupon code from Retail Me Not. So coastalscents.com. Okay, so let's move on from here and let's do our eyeliner. So right now I'm just making sure that both eyes are even, meaning a lot of times when people put on makeup, you have to make sure that both eyes are blended evenly. You want to make sure that there's not more black in this space than on this space, or more brown. Okay, so we are going to move on to filling in the brows. Filling in the brows. So for our eyebrows, I always use my favorite Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, and I need a spoolie. This is my spoolie, a disposable spoolie, combing out the brows. And I use an angled flat brush. So here's my angled brush to apply my, to fill in my eyebrows. Start with your line first. If you don't have a lot of brows, then remember you map them out first. And if you want to learn how to map them out, then I have a eyebrow tutorial on my YouTube channel, Deandra Giselle, that goes in depth. Okay, well then when you're filling it in, you don't need any more product. Just fill in whatever you have remaining. Hey, is that Shari or Charisse that just joined? Hey, hey, hey. Okay, so this eyebrow is my problem child. It's always thicker, it grows differently. So a lot of times when I'm filling in my eyebrows, this one tends to be thicker. So then what I do is I will clean it up when I put on my concealer. So the shapes aren't very similar right now, but I will clean it up in the concealer stage, in our highlighting stage. But I don't know why I always struggle with that brow. So we're using our spoolie and we're just blending everything together. Since we're doing a natural look, then we won't do our, actually no, I'll let you guys decide. So we're moving on to our wing liner, so, or not wing liner, liner. So if you guys want to see a wing liner, then select one. A regular natural liner, select two. Okay. Wing liner, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1. Oh, what we got here? 1. I1, 2. All right, so it looks like it's mostly wing liner. So since you guys mostly want wing liner, then I'm going to show you guys how to do it without tape, which I showed you guys before, but we'll recap it. So then we're going to move on to our highlighting stage. Because I use the highlight to help me guide me for the wing liner. So I'm switching it up today, guys. I'm using NW35 from MAC Pro Long Wear Concealer. And we need to put on our primer because that was going to be crazy. So primer on, foundation will be next, and we'll move on to our concealer. You guys, you know I'm tired. I'm missing steps. Okay, I'm still wearing the same foundation, which is Revlon Color Stay, and these two are being mixed. It's Caramel and Cappuccino. So when I'm mixing my color, I start with the lighter one first, and then I add dark. The reason why I mix is because cappuccino, the darker one, is too like orange, and then the caramel is too, like, it doesn't have enough warmth in it. So I'm mixing the two. I went into, what store did I go into yesterday? Was it Walgreens? Yes, I went into Walgreens yesterday, and they had these colors. Yes, primer helps makeup not to run. It helps the foundation have something to stick onto. It also just kind of gives your skin an even foundation, depending on what type of primer you have. Gives your skin an even foundation to put your foundation on. And if you're oily, sounds delicious. And if you're oily, primer will get your face matte. And colors seem to be more vibrant. Yes, that's more for eyeshadow though. So I'm applying this with a foundation brush. And we are just making sure that we get all areas, that it's all nice and blended, that we don't leave any streaks. When you use this brush, it's a little easier to leave streaks on your face, meaning it's not blended well. So that's why you kind of have to pat it on versus rub it on. And I just always, whatever is left, just put a little bit down your neck. I don't add more. It's just whatever is left on my brush. No Oh Wow brush today, because since I've been mixing the two colors, when I mix the Oh Wow brush, it's like it absorbed like just the light color, and I didn't like the blend. So since I've been using colors today, I haven't really been using my brush. Okay, so let's start our highlighting process using the MAC Pro Longwear NW35. Wait, was it 35 or 45? 35. And just use a little bit of this one. So this is the part that helps us with the wing liner. You are going to draw a straight line. And don't blend it. This is your guideline for your wing liner. And because Pro Longwear dries so quickly, after I do this eye, I'm going to blend, then I'll move on to the next section, because when this dries, it sticks. Thank you, Cherise. So you draw the line and make sure it's a good line and that they're even, that one isn't higher than the other. I feel like one might be a little higher. Okay, and then let's blend it out. And when you're blending, be careful not to blend that straight line that you created, because you really need to see it for your wing liner. It makes things a lot easier. So this would take in place of the tape. If you're using Do you use that to blend? Brushes, I feel like it's harder to blend sometimes. But if you're using a powdered foundation and your concealer is liquid, then you should put your concealer on first. Whenever you have something powdered, that should go on after anything liquid. And then how far do you go down on your highlight? It's up to you and what you're trying to achieve. So I usually go out to about right here, and then I usually blend down, because when I do my contour and my blush, I just like the look of that. So I usually stick to a triangle that kind of goes from there to there. Powder sets liquid. That's right. That's why you do liquid first. I'm looking for my eyeliner. Okay, we'll just have to do a gel. So when I do my wing liner, I do prefer to use liquid liner. And I don't have it here right now. Okay, so we're going to just go with this. This is from Makeup Forever. It's a gel liner, and it's, what is it called? It doesn't have a name right now, but it's black. And I'm going to use my angled brush, a smaller one. And just pull the skin lightly, don't pull too much. And start from the center and blend your product out. Good morning, Haley. And using that line you created, you use that as your guide so you don't go below that line. Then come back the other way. Hope you guys can see this, because I just realized I was looking more into my mirror. What is going on? And come back the opposite way. This is the only issue when you're using gel liners, is that when they dry out, they're not as pigmented and they're harder to work with. So my gel liner seems to be drying out, so it's making it a little harder for me to get my wing liner together, but that's all right. We're gonna work it out anyway. When it comes to wing liner, it does take practice. You have to find out what works better for you. So some people like using this brush. Some people like using the actual eyeliner brush. You know, you just have to find out what works better for you. Some people like using liquid liner. So it takes practice. Gel liner can be annoying when it dries out. It really can. But I like that it stays on all day. Alright, so there is the wing liner. Let's see if we can attack the other side and get them to look the same. Starting in the center always. Good morning. Hey. Yes, it does take patience. Practice makes perfect. I don't know what is going on with this liner. Moisturizer and primer was actually in one. The primer I used was from MAC and it's called Moisture Infusion. Okay. Alright, we're gonna move on from this. So, this one needs to be cleaned up a little bit. There we go. This side needs to be thickened up. So, after I do this, I always check to see, make sure that one side isn't thicker than the other. Thank you. There we go. Yeah, it's a struggle sometimes trying to get it right. So let's move on to the rest of our highlighting. Let's go right underneath the chin, Cupid's bow, top of the nose. Okay, maybe just spread out the product that we have and blend it using a beauty blender. And this beauty blender I got online at Amazon. I'm using MAC Pro Longwear NW35. I got this from Amazon and I want to say it was like $5. I got like 3 of them for $5. It was overseas though, it was in China, so it took a little time to get to me, but it was kind of worth it opposed to paying like $5.99 for one or $12.99 or 2 for whatever. So I've been using them for a while. Let's highlight our eyebrows. So what is that? Okay. So right underneath the brow, this is where you can correct any mistakes that you may have made when doing your eyebrows. This line, you know, take your time kind of doing this line because this is where you're kind of correcting any mistakes. This is what makes your eyebrows look absolutely flawless. Thank you. I'm glad you're learning. I appreciate you saying that. I really do. Thank you, you guys. Okay, so when I'm doing this, remember I told you this eyebrow always tends to be a little bit thicker. Like I tend to draw this one thicker. So this is where I'm correcting it. I'm kind of going over the line that I did earlier. It was MAC Pro Longwear in NW35. Okay, let's blend that out. Then let's apply lashes after we set all of our foundation and highlight. We'll apply lashes and then we'll do contour with using powder. Then while we're doing that, you guys can tell me what type of lipstick we're doing today. Are we doing a neutral? If you want neutral, that will be a 1. Or are we doing a color and that would be a 2? So let me know your votes. 2 for color, 1 for neutral. Getting all these 1s so far. So far the 1s are winning. Okay, so yes, Pro Longwear NW35 from MAC. So it looks like we're doing a neutral lip. You guys are very classic today. I like it. I just knew you guys were gonna hit me with crazy colors like, yeah, I want to see pink, purple, and blue all rolled into one. Okay, all right. For this today, I am gonna line underneath my eyes. Usually I don't. For those who watch me regularly, you know I prefer not to, but today I felt like it. All right, so let's set our highlights and contours. So with highlight, shut up, Marcus. So with our highlight, I like to use a lighter foundation. Marcus to mess me up. So with my highlight, I like to use a translucent powder, and this is from RCMA. I transition it into a smaller container because it comes in like a container this big. And I want to say that you can get this online, this translucent powder. It's no color powder. But what I would say is that I've had this for a year already. And so it's really worth it. And it's like, I want to say anywhere from $7 to $9. So we're just going to pat it right underneath and let it sit for a moment while we apply our lashes. So anywhere that you did a highlight, I'll do the yellow one next. Anywhere that you did a highlight, you're going to use your translucent powder. The reason why I like to use the translucent powder versus the yellow powder on my highlight is because I still want there to be a difference. Sometimes when you put the yellow powder over your entire face, it darkens up your highlight. And so I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to use the translucent for my highlight and the yellow powder for where I place my foundation. What are you talking about, Scotty? So next, this is the yellow powder that I normally use from Sasha called Buttercup. You just want a little bit of this, and anywhere that you didn't place your highlight, that's where you place the yellow. Now, you can still use a translucent powder all over your face. You can use a yellow powder over your face. My personal preference is to do the highlight powder or the translucent powder over the highlight. That's a preference for me because I just noticed that I feel like it stands out better. All right, so that is done. Let's apply these lashes. Our lashes, and I'm cleaning up as I go too. Our lashes I'm using it's number SF217, and it's from Stardale Lash. And these lashes are like either $1.99 or $2.99. Remember when you're taking off your lashes. Anyways, you know, when you're taking off your lashes, you're going to place your pointer finger right there and you're going to bend the container and roll it off. That's how you keep the form of the lashes. The name of the translucent powder is it's by RCMA, and you can get it online. And if you're in California and in the Valley, it's at Namies. I was gonna say, Marcus, you 2 seconds from getting blocked. So, and the lash adhesive that I'm using is from Duo. It's in dark tone. And I'm running out of that. So as you're applying your lashes, sometimes I like to, while it's drying, just kind of rock it back and forth to make it easier to put on. And when you're doing that, you're just trying to make it into like a rounder shape, so it's easier to place on the center of your lid. And you really have to make sure it's tacky. You want the glue to be tacky, almost dry. And you just place it right on the center of your lid. Right on your lash line. And if it's not tacky, that's what happens. It doesn't stick. Tuck the corners, and after you tuck, you just push them down. And sometimes I use my fingers and squeeze them together. And after it's been applied and it's nice and dry, you can then put your mascara on if you like. And that step is necessary for those of you guys who have curly lashes, because you want your lashes to blend into your false lashes. And something is poking my eye. There we go. Okay, let's take off the other one. Finger, roll it out. And apply our adhesive. And while that is drying, I'm gonna rock it back and forth and look for my mascara. Also, when you're applying your lashes, you really want to make sure that you don't go too far into the corner. I see people take them off with the tweezers, but I just think that when you do it with the tweezers, it just, sometimes you may pull one of these lashes out, or you change the form of it, because when it's round like this, when it has that U shape, it's easier to apply on your lash. Alrighty, so this one should be about ready. Hold on. To help get to your lash line, if you go in a upward motion, that helps you get closer to your lash. I'm just gonna use my finger. And push down. So what I'm doing right now is just making sure it's close to my lash line. Because that's, you really want your strips to be undetectable. It's really not cute to have them like on your lid. As close to the lash line as possible. And I just want to make sure everything is nice and clean. Thank you. And sometimes I will go back and just add a little bit more liner on top of it. Zaire. Zaire. Zaire, did you grab your library card? Okay, but did you grab your library card? Sorry, guys. Okay, so now we can wipe off the translucent powder and let's get to the contour. The name of the contour palette is City Color Effects, and it is in, I think it's deep or number 1. It's the first one. Don't get the City Color Contour Palette 2. It's too light for us. It's like too ashy for brown tones. So we're just making sure our cheekbones are defined. And your contour 2 fingers width away from your mouth. Neck. Around the forehead, around the hairline. That's the palette. And it's on eBay for, I want to say like $6. And and I originally bought it for like $15 when I went to the actual website. But you guys have taught me so much too. I always go to Amazon and eBay first. So now I'm taking the lighter color and I'm just blending away any lines that I created. So this is the bronzer, because you want it to be smooth. All right, so for the sake of time, I'm just gonna do a light contour on the nose. I really don't contour my nose every day. All right, so let's choose our blush. So give me, I know, because I've been on here a long time now, I need to get ready for work. So to just keep it simple, for blush, give me a 1 for MAC Fever. For this one, which is more of a bronzy tone, give me a 2, and this is NYX Bronze. So let me show you the 2. This one or this one. This is 1, actually, this is 1, this is 2. Let me switch them. 1, 1. 1 it is. All right, so using my flat brush, I'm going to pat it on. I am going to be so mad if it's just like my Oh Wow brush that I spent $25 on. $1 something? That's crazy. So I'm just patting it on and then I'll blend it in like so. Circular motion. Some people do figure 8s. That's crazy. I'm so mad about that. Sis, I need to see you. It's been a minute. All right, so blending that all in, a nice tone, and that's Fever by MAC. And I always use the same highlight, which is Gold Deposit, also from MAC. And Gold Deposit is your highlighter that goes just above your blush. But this is the thing, guys. You don't want a ton of this because you don't want to be glittery. You just want a hint of the powder, which is why I'm using a fan brush that is less dense because it's picking up less product. So you just want a little bit. Okay, so that is our makeup look for today. I'm going to do a nude lip, which I think I left. No, I didn't. Gonna do a nude lip using Chestnut Liner and Blankety. So you just line your lips lightly. It's almost like the ombre lip. The reason why I'm using a dark liner chestnut is because nude lips, the pink tones tend to be too white on me. And most darker skin tones should use a darker color first. And blend it in. You have to blend it in because you don't want to be looking crazy. And then I'm just cleaning up anything extra after I blend. Okay, and that is our look for today that you guys got to help me choose. Tomorrow we're going over, what is tomorrow? Friday? Tomorrow, I was gonna do skincare regimen, but to be honest, because it's Friday and I feel like Friday's fun and you guys are going out. Thank you, Sissy. You guys are going out and having fun. I want to do a funner look. So I just purchased a, it's called Club by MAC. Is it called Club? Hold on. I may be lying to you guys. Club Satin from MAC. I'm going to show you the color. And I'm going to do a fun look using this. I don't know what it's going to be called yet, but this is the color that I want to use. And you know how when you have 6 empty packages from MAC, you can turn it in and get an eyeshadow or a lipstick? Well, I turned my empty stuff in and I got this color. And I want to show you guys how pretty it is. But it would show better if I had like a primer on it. But I want to show you guys the color. Super pretty. It's this color right here minus this that's going on. So I want to do a fun look using this color and black. And the reason why it's Friday and you guys are going to have fun this weekend. So I want to do a fun look. Monday will be my skincare regimen. I promise you guys. It will be my skincare regimen. And because I know you guys requested that. Thank you. So if you guys do this neutral look, I would love for you guys to tag me on Instagram, on Facebook. Facebook is now open for everyone to request me as a friend. I had the only friends of friends could request me as a friend setting on. That's why you guys were having issues, because I knew I didn't have 5,000 friends yet. So please, you guys, please tag me on Facebook or on Instagram. Or if you don't want to post it on social media, you can send me a direct message. Or you can send it to email, deandragiselle@gmail.com. You can also send me questions, topics, anything like that to that email, deandragiselle@gmail.com. And this final look will be posted on Instagram as well with all the things that I used today. Good morning. Lastly, I announced before, and I'm sure Shari Sharice and I don't think Lisa announced it yet, and Dana, who does Health Scopes, we are doing a women's conference next year. These lashes are 213 from Stardale Lash. No, 217 from Stardale Lash. We are doing a women's conference called Love Yourself, and we want to know what topics you guys would want to be interested in coming to and joining us. It is going to be in Atlanta, so if you're in Atlanta or in the surrounding areas, you know, it's for you. If you guys want to fly out there, that's great. But please send your topics to loveyourselfconference@gmail.com, and we're checking them daily, and we're seeing, you know, what what you guys want to hear from us. So that would be Optimistic Divorcees, Shar Cherise, Liz, Melissa, Miss Kev on stage is Melissa, and Dana, which I forgot her username, but she does the health sculpts. We're coming together and doing this. So please, you guys, please send the topics because we want to hear. A recap of what we're doing tomorrow. Our guys invited. I mean, yeah, if you want to pay for the conference and go. It's a Love Yourself conference. You know, I don't know, because I think women may not open up if guys come, but I'll confirm. If you guys want any new topics, the lipstick that I used, was, I used chestnut liner and whatever Marcus. I used chestnut liner and Blankety, both from MAC. So, you guys have a great day. I hope you guys enjoy your day. We'll be back tomorrow. Wake up to makeup at 7 a.m. doing a fun weekend look. So, I will see you guys tomorrow. And I promise I'll be a little bit more awake because I was tired. Have a good day, beauties. Bye.